I saw this share on a Sisterlocks group, and I wanted to explain to you why this is going on with a young person's hair. So the person asked, why is their granddaughter's hair thinning? Why does it look like that? If you look at the picture, you will notice that the locks started off thick, and then each lock has a knot, and then it's being interlocked, and as you can see, it's showing thin. What's happened there is that from the day that person's hair was installed, Sisterlocks, it began to thin. It gradually began to thin and thin and thin because it's being done too frequently. Maybe it's being done every 6 weeks, every 7 weeks, but for that head, it's too much. Looking at the size of locks, I would have locked them 4 times a year, but it appears they're being locked too often. If you look closely, you will see the follicles showing. That's a sign of trauma. Too much is going on with that hair, and so as a result, it's thinning. Now, when it starts to thin, the first thing it tries to do is rescue itself, and it bounds up, because our African texture hair naturally knots up. And there's a point equally across all areas of that zone where those knots start binding together. The binding of the knots, already you can see easily that the knotted area, which is naturally knotted, is thicker. That is an example of what Knotted Locs does. What Knotted Locs does, it naturally gives you that thicker finish because the hair wants to knot. It naturally knots up, and you can see from that hair, that's what it's doing. That's just the consultant interlocking it. When there are fewer strands, they wrap themselves around each other and they try and thicken up, looking like knots. They try and thicken up and they become knotted. I'm not sure when our hair being knotted became kind of a negative. There was a negativity towards knotting, but African hair knots. From this picture, you can see why I love to knot, because the knotted area that's naturally knotted, you can see is thicker. It's thicker. It's thicker because there's a lot more strands trying to band around and create a thickness so the hair doesn't break. It's trying not to break. It tries not to break, but then you go too frequently, it's pulled through, continually pull through tight. And the result is the thinness. If I was being consulted about this hair, I would say stop. Stop the retights and allow this person's hair to grow for at least 4 months, because it's a young person's head. They do not need to be relocked as often. So the reason why clients, Sisterlocks clients experiencing continual thinning is their hair is being interlocked too frequently, pulled through too many times, and they're going to their appointments too often. You need to stop going to these appointments. You need to choose when you feel you need your regrowth relocked, and make sure it's not tight.